weird that it just outright hits 0, but... God, that's bad. Download speed seems fine. Yeah, it's just my upload speed that's gone to shit. Well, I'm gonna power through since it isn't crashed now. I think. Well, there's nothing I can do about it, so... Naysayers must be because of the rumors. Hey, check it out. There's a metal plate here. Looks like the names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it. Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner? Yeah, that's probably it. Well, where he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. When she says it, his name does have a ring, kind of a ring to it. name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. Wonder why they only use numbers for IDs. What else would they use? Letters, silly. There's a reason we have a written language in the first place. True. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. Y-A-B-A-D-A-B. See? Wouldn't that be better? Yabadab? Well, it does have a certain ring, but exactly my point. Teehee. It doesn't take much to amuse her. This must be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Edgeworth? In the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. Oh, there's a scary thought. Edgeworth, 1712. This is dated the day of the crime. The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair. Perhaps. It just goes to show you, you never know what will happen when you run a yellow light. He's in a tough spot again. Well, it all started with that murder defense attorney, Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting. I'm aware that it's going to be falling behind. The bitrate hasn't been fixed yet. I'm just plugging through until it fixes itself. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself. Well, what? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is... What was his name? The guy in the parking lot. That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. So Officer Marshall, is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer. From West LA. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Looks like the investigation is still going. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. Oh. That was a different voice, probably. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, still here? Hello. Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs, too. What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambino? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. There's something I wanted to ask you. The scene of the crime. A cold grave for men who lost their dreams. Yeah, me? I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment. He's asleep. Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? Hold on, got a message from one of my staff. I'm gonna find someone to cover a closing shift tomorrow. Marshall, there's something I want to ask you. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Ah, that old cow dog. He holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it says letter of introduction, it says invitation. Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Bit rate's slowly getting better. Be like the settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Say I won't be needing this anymore. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belongs to the victim. I can't think of anyone else this could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Right, let's check it out. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright? Those phones keep a record of all the calls you made and received. You just press the blue button and to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? You didn't know, I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't even know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. You never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. Now see who the owner of this phone last called. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first. He just pushes the button. Hey, that song. I know that. Hey, what's going on over there? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed the redial on that there phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to the chief prospector, Scott. What? It's my sister's. She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody, right after the crime. Look, last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. What? I heard that. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that? Oh, I'm sorry. That was my phone. Ooh. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. A wrong number. I hope you're not online. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Alright, bitrate should be fixing in a second. It just did the thing where it goes up over like 10,000. Uh-oh. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Cell phone added to the court record. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The Crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car. It just screams, "I have money to burn." Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. B block is through there, and that's where visitors park. I can see the lunch line car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. You can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy looking steak. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So, wait. The victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person I know who would come to a conclusion like that. A block, this is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are regulated to B block. I dream of the day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the angel, the witness, Miss Angel Starr. One stab in the chest. A fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Goodman's autopsy report added to the court record. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Scott and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot? So it seems. Like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth. That cow dog's been kicked out of this cattle run by order of the chief of police. Just, he don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? So you know the connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten me.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
I'm hoping that means that everything's working fine for the stream. Maybe it's that dry wind that was a blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will, something's up here. Someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you'll find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say it, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals. What are you saying? Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. That's why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? Time of death, February 21st, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Cause of death, blood loss from chest wound. Assessment, wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. Single stab wound was found. Oh, okay. I see where this case is going already. My sister's cell phone. Last time it was used at 5:18. I was at 5:18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night. Why did Lana make that call? All right, compadre, count to 3. You gotta do that if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Or have you never to visit Texas? What's that? Some sort of police passport? This is Detective Goodman's ID card. Strangely enough, we found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance? This rat hole? If you want distance, get yourself to Texas. Hey, look, buddy. I'm an engineer. That means I solve problems. Isn't that right, Loki? My alarm clock is not the right time anymore. Texas. This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? Note to self, if you encounter evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study than hang out with the pros. Emma is gonna be so messed up because of all the weirdos. "5:12 p.m. The prospector's bright red steed came in at a trot, real slow like. Trot? My Madonna tells me that the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems the chief prospector was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. So what you mean is, the killer intended to use Edgeworth's car all along. Ah, toy shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly could you use a shield? What exactly could you shield with that? A toy knife, maybe? Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these. Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it? Hey, they could use the same shield over and over. Note to self, prosecutors in criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap. You know it. They've gone cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. I see your badge. Looks pretty. Brown. Our badge is a star. A lone star. Shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of night. Note to self. Evildoers are weak against starlight. No. Yeah, that's a sheriff's badge. Here, see this? I've noticed that defense attorneys have a tendency to want to show people things. What is this, behavioral study of lawyers? What am I missing? What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. You're right. Let's see. 6-7S. 12-2. There's your name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe he fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so, what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for detective reasoning, go to Edgeworth. Not right. Sure, Edgeworth wouldn't know what it means either. Well, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? Well, not so great. I guess we got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee you that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? That's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18 after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Cell phone updated in the court record. A detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. To be continued. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do this, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Isn't this the case that you start using luminol in and then never again? The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path that I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. Emma, are you crushing on him? However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. The hell does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please, describe the incident to us. Bribes. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up, Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. The bento girl! Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. Block A for the prosecutor's office personnel. Block B is for the visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep the visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of Block A, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. I immediately after that apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garage car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Nah, she did it. We're just gonna go with that. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Jeez. Yeah. Care to join? the yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. Yes, he did. The security guard room is in A block. It's up on the second level, and you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I park in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You sensed something? You're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say, oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you feel a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition. Wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese not yet tinged with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be a hard yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the order of an old cheese to match. In any case, there was a lot, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, with which the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, are you sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Lil Wayne disposition from a while back. Oh yeah? Let's just see what we can, let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. Hot? That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph. You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only just seeing this photograph now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Crime photo added to the court record.
Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Sky.
So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
I see.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panic next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay, I think it's the picture with... And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife? As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. That has to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken a moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph.
Ah, yes. It's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
No problem, except you.
Miss Mr. Wright, are you gonna just sit there and take that kind of abuse?
You got a better idea? Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime.
Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
That's it?
If you run out of lunch, order your seconds. You order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
What? These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder. A serious offense. Witness.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
Ugh.
What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves?
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad. She's got them all thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial is already over. I've got to think of a way to show that it wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Okay, but... Oh, no. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence.
It does? I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh? Really?
Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. Oops, that didn't go so well.
I'm not sure the answer to this one. Good evening, JR. How are you doing? some dinner. How are you? I'm doing well. Trying to figure out... what I'm missing here. Yeah, reminder guys, we're still collecting money for the Trevor Project through the end of the month. Next weekend's going to be the last weekend that I'm streaming during this. We're just $100 away from our $1,000 goal. The Trevor Project is dedicated towards suicide prevention, LGBTQ community. Excuse me. Okay. Is the game really that loud? It's showing us much quieter than... Interesting. Well, I might have just been quiet. Because I also was really far back from the mic. So what I was saying is we're still collecting for the Trevor Project through this month to the through next weekend. It'll be the last time I'm streaming while we're collecting, but I'll have it running for a couple of days after, and it's for the Trevor Project, a group. Yeah, I was being far from the mic. We're raising money for the Trevor Project, who is focused on suicide prevention in the LGBTQ community. Let's see. Just trying to figure this out. Having some problems with this. I don't really know what I'm looking for.
I'm stumped. Okay, yeah. That's... Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed. Indeed. It is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? Defendant is a chief. I mean, are prosecutors bad people, kid? Kid, listen. Yes, but only in this game. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Ah. Order, order. Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Ah, the prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him, It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Well, I found the hole in her testimony on this one. Thank you for the anonymous donation of $10, whoever you are. Really appreciate it. We're now only $90 away from that goal. Oh boy. Yeah, if we hit 1,000, I have to play Dark Souls 2 again. And I have to do the harder ending. Anyway. The autopsy said he was only stabbed once. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness. Have I done the more difficult ending for Dark Souls 2? No, I did the one that made me not have to do as much content. Because I just couldn't deal with it. I'm thinking of going like a poise shield set. Or build for this next one. Yeah, so I have to go through the longer ending in a game that I absolutely cannot stand. Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Bot's getting aggressive on that message, but... Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. she doesn't have her muffler. Miss Star. The witness is not clearly suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. But in the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What? Was my objection chopped liver? but it was there. A scarf. No, not that. But something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness had just given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well. Witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? Part where your sister stabs the victim. And this next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her and explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made an escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. Also a very good metaphor. First of all, cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self. Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Wow. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will. So, where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There's a wall there about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her. Okay. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Press. I'd like to see on this floor plan just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you?
I went over it, of course.
Amazing. The Cough-Up Queen, lunch lady, athlete. Indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb up. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard was her say the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Star.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
Yes. Let's see. You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you
climbed over the chain link fence.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, Who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction in your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said that you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was at the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it.
Order. What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? What exactly did, tell us exactly what lie this witness told the court. Oof, indeed. How you doing, John? Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. And... oh. Zoomies! Pretty good. Doing well myself. Let's see.
Did you see how fast he was running?
Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. That would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Starr witnessed the crime was here. This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't have been in couldn't park in Block A. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony, you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room. Yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has gotten the better of Angel Starr.
Order. Order. Witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. Guilty. She's talking about Miss Sky.
Mr. Wright? Doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and she said she saw it from Block B. It must make a vital difference, but what? What could it change? It would change the angle of the view to the crime. It would also change the distance to the crime. Why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important. Why? Damn it. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness? Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right?
The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.
I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running toward the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it.
I swear on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely. Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this?
Yes, I would. Good job, Judge. How's it going, Scott?
"5 minutes between the witnessing of a murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Inconceivable!
I see this game is just as interesting as ever. Yes, it is. It's on a curve. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And they wrap it all up in a nice, neat little bow at the end.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant, and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Celebratory exercise! Yay! Thanks! That was definitely a sarcastic yay. What are you talking about? Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple decker. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
It's all in love. I need to figure out why my wrist is being a problem, though. I think it's actually like, I don't think it's carpal tunnel or an injury. I think it's just, let's see. I think it's just the tendons are unhappy. No game screen. You just have to watch my face and hear my voice. And I mean, that's pretty much what this game has been. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? All this lunch talk has me hungry again. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? Two types
Alright,
of
everyone not dead, sound off.
Nortradamus, how's it going? Thank you for the raid. Saito! Can we get a shout out for Nortradamus and then for Saito? Might not be any clips yet. Guys, if you haven't already, which I'm fairly certain most of the people who are hanging out here have not, can you do yourselves a favor and go follow Nortradamus? He's just started streaming fairly recently, and is awesome, just awesome. And Saito Sinkin is one of the team members for the charity stream we're doing this month.
Egg. Egg. Egg.
Just
Egg.
came screaming in, literally.
Egg. Egg. Egg.
Egg? But yeah, Nostradamus is making the push for freaking orc message ruined your stream. What? Oh no, you'll need to explain that one. But welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Nostradamus. Orc massage ruined your stream. Oh no. But orcs is the biggest and the bestest at the beatings and the massagings, aren't they? Orcs just wants the fights too. That and they love Bordaka. You were playing, looks like Witcher 3? Nice. Was looking up Mass Effect on Steam and it was part of one? Huh. It's a mature game! Which one, Mass Effect or Witcher? Because yes. I was looking at Mass Effect on Steam and it was part of one of the search. Oh, the orc massage. Oh no. Comp couldn't handle Witcher 3? Yeah, Witcher games are also a little weird on PC from what I understand. I tried playing through the series and I kept having problems with number 2. But oh god. Orc massage popped up while you were looking up Mass Effect. 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Lana Sky. The shoe proves it is flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There is blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
I think we have to throw this whole trial out because no one's following the proper procedure for any courtroom etiquette.
That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
This trial is indeed just... And thank you for the lyrics, Saito. Yes, by the way, Raiders, if you need a break, go take a break. Especially because, if I remember correctly, Nostradamus, you were streaming for a while today. So yeah, if you need food, sleep, restroom break, stretch, go do that. Go take care of yourselves. That's more important. This is wild.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. So in other words, the shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright? We've flaunted that so many times. It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against your witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Your potato couldn't handle Geralt's next-gen booty. Yeah. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit anything as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. The blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. That's one weird thing with Ace Attorney. So many issues with evidence every case. There needs to be a discovery phase / session at least. It would fix so many issues. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
Sorry, I'm leaving now.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow down any sample of blood just to one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten the DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Lana Skies.
And the jelly felt donut on her hat. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was going to say that.
I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. Who ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, don't you have a problem with this? Do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe?
Problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe?
I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Shows the problem with this evidence.
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. It'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed. There's quite a lot of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It does make sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of this shoe? The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order. Well, witness?
What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprints is a contradiction. But then we have to ask, why wasn't there a footprint?
Oh. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think.
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. Well, what are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Wow.
Yes, we all remember that. I thought it was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Oh, still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason, and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Ah! That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence.
That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Hey yo, how's it going, Yannick? It's your foot, man.
Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please.
What can I do? Fantastic day besides the foot. You're gonna have to tell me how that one happened. I'm picturing you were at speed and managed to catch something. Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. Okay, we got about 15 minutes left in the stream, but guys, remember, we are still collecting through the end of the month for the Trevor Project, a group dedicated to suicide prevention in the LGBTQ community. And we're only $90 away from hitting 1,000, which means if we hit that, I have to play Dark Souls 2 again. Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star's on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water.
The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying that my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Well, wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of the court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen? Look at this.
A photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection! Yes. Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No. No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. The last one submitted. The trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose we've come this far. We should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph.
The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor?
You just said muffler. However, I see no traces of a muffler or a scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also a part of a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does it have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Star, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Phone call. Ballin'. Miss Star, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Ah! Yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. That was overly dramatic, lady, and you know it.
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about the piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Ooh, that was close. But we made it for now, at least.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
He's still hungry? Okay. It's 5 minutes early, but I think it's a good calling point because my voice is also starting to be really pissy about this. Okay.
Judge, food now.
So, let's go ahead and set it to sleep mode. Go over to our just chatting screen.
Nom nom nom.
And then switch my display over so that I can actually find someone to raid. Okay, so. Okay, nope. Why does that echo now? It wasn't doing it before. Okay, I know who we're raiding. We're gonna raid Rain Day. They were someone who raided us just last night because we were playing Phoenix Wright as well. They're in the same case and further along, so if people want to avoid spoilers for the stream, I understand if you want to bolt. But a lot of the people I know, and myself included, All right. There we go. So I am going to send you guys over there. Make sure to double check rules and all that, and be friendly. And here we are. But yeah, you know, today me, tomorrow you. So we'll also get to see a little bit of what their content is like. No stream until Friday, unless something pops up that I end up wanting to do something. But not super likely. I'm going to be pretty busy this week with work. But next stream should be Phoenix Wright again. And yeah. Okay. Raid messages are there in the chat for you guys if you want them. And you've got the first one. If you've got the channel emotes, you can use that one. And the second one is for if you don't. I'm actually going to copy and paste that one. Here we go. So, once again, we're going over to Rain Day, someone who raided us last night. They are also playing this game. And they're quite a bit further into the case, it looks like. So, Nostradamus, thank you for the raid as well. And, yeah. Thank you all for making it out here tonight. Have a good night, and remember, be excellent to each other.